What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back here with another YouTube video, and in today's video we're going to be doing Bad Batch episode number 11, Devil's Deal review here in today's video. So yeah, another Friday, another episode of the Bad Batch, and in today's case we got episode number 11, so we're about 11 episodes in, or otherwise 11 weeks in. We're actually 10 weeks in technically because the first two episodes released in the same week. But yeah, we have a few episodes left to go until the season finale too, so that's pretty exciting. But anyways, let's quickly go through episode 11. Episode 11 definitely took a different path than the other episodes, and I definitely like it a lot. Where it was less Bad Batch centered, it was more so different characters. And just quick spoiler warning: if you haven't seen the Bad Batch episode number 11, click off the video right now, because there will be spoilers. So yeah, first of all, let's go through a quick recap. So this episode took place on the planet of Ryloth, which is conveniently Hera Syndulla's planet, as we follow Cham Syndulla, Hera Syndulla, and their wife slash mother, as in the kind of Ryloth insurgents, as they kind of deal with the Empire, and we're seeing kind of what the Empire's effects on Ryloth is and stuff like that. We see that there are weapons are stripped away from them, and they end up ordering new weapons from Sid, who the Bad Batch worked for. The Bad Batch actually delivered it, and that's all we saw of them for the episode. It was like a quick 2 minutes. We didn't even see them that much. This was mainly a Hera Syndulla focused episode. Slash the Syndullas and Ryloth centered episode, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely a lot of stuff that was going on during this episode. Definitely a very good episode. I would say this is a top 3 episode for me personally. I think it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Uh, so yeah, quickly let's go through my thoughts. I thought it was interesting that we saw two Rebels characters in Chopper and Hera, but Hera was very young in this episode. She couldn't be more than maybe I'm pretty sure she had to be in at least like 13, 12 or something. She was pretty much a young child in this episode, and that caused obviously that they didn't have Kanan. Sorry, not Kanan. Sorry, Hera as the same voice actor as in Rebels. It was a different voice actor, so that was interesting as well. So that essentially brings our Rebels character total up to 3 now. We've seen Kanan, and we've seen Hera, and we've seen Chopper. So that's pretty cool. Um, that's pretty interesting to see those characters come back. I'm a fan of Rebels, the Rebels TV show. I like that show. It was pretty good, and it's interesting always to see them come back. So that was pretty interesting. It was also interesting to see that Cham Syndulla wasn't against the Empire at first. If you watched the Rebel show, you would have noticed Cham Syndulla doesn't very like the Empire in the show. He's against it. He's a part of the insurgents in Ryloth. So it was interesting to see he was kind of like, excuse me, I keep yawning, but it's kind of interesting to see that he was kind of on board with the Empire for a little bit, but I mean he was still kind of hesitant. At the same time, he felt as if he just wanted fighting to stop at these cases. So you kind of understood what he came from and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting as well. We saw Crosshair again, and Crosshair looks a little bit battle damaged from that whole thing that happened with the Bad Batch. So he's a bit battle damaged now. Uh, it was also interesting to see one of the clones not act like a total asshole in a sense. Because in the episode, if you realize, I can't remember what the clone's name was. He was highlighted in blue, was like the commander on the clones on Ryloth. He was respect. It was interesting to see he was still respecting Cham Syndulla. He was like general and everything. So I found that really interesting as well. I also found like a sense of he didn't really want to do anything to the Syndulla family. Like he didn't bother like reporting when Hera was caught around the clone base and stuff like that. So you kind of get a sense. Sorry. I keep yawning. You kind of get a sense that not all clones were terrible during this time. I mean, there's definitely some terrible clones, but during this time, but you could kind of see some restoration to normal. I mean, honestly, the whole episode I was kind of expecting him to maybe turn. I wouldn't have been surprised, and I think he might turn. I don't know if they're gonna be doing a Ryloth episode for the next one too, but if they are, I hope we see kind of a fleshed out thing for Hera and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting. Maybe that'll be in season, if they have a season 2, that like could be in there. Sorry, my apologies. I keep yawning. I don't know why. But yeah, it was very interesting to see that. Uh, Interesting to see what happens to Telf as well, the original senator of Ryloth. And you always got a sense that he was very greedy. Even with the days with the Republic, he was very greedy. So I wasn't too surprised to see he was hiding behind the Empire, cowarding away. You could also get a sense of that from the Clone Wars too, especially when the whole Ryloth campaign. Uh, Chammy was even like, he's a coward. He doesn't really help at all. So yeah, it kind of was like a little bit sad, not satisfying, but it was just like, damn, he's dead like that. Because Crosshair did snipe him in the head and he died. Um, so that was interesting as well because I think that was their whole plan too. Because if you realize, Crosshair actually sniped only him and not Cham Sandula or the insurgents or anything like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. We also saw Hera get away and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting. Maybe it's setting up where she goes to Rebels and stuff like that. Because I believe this show might be set maybe a few years before Rebels. I would have to take a guess because no way it's Rebels is taking place like 20 years later. I'm pretty sure Hera in that show was like 20 something. And in Bad Batch right now, she's probably easy like 13, 14, maybe 12. I don't know. Little child, kind of teenager, maybe. So it's interesting to see that happen as well. It was interesting to like see a different perspective of this other than the Bad Batch, because the Bad Batch weren't really in this episode. Like I said before, they were in it for like 2 minutes total, and then they were gone. I was pretty surprised to see them not be in the episode, but at the same time, it's a much needed kind of break from them. And yeah, I said this was episode 11, so we have about episode 12, 13, and 14 left, which is about 3 episodes, ending on July 30th. That's the season finale right now. So 3 more episodes. Pretty excited for the finale. These coming episodes as well, and I'm pretty excited for them. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.